right, we got a C8, we got a C7. This is perfect. This is going to work, and you guys are here. Welcome to our Tech Tuesday. We'll officially start with our technician, Chuck, and answer your questions in just a moment, and we're going to finish up tonight with your beautiful rides. I want to do a follow-up to last week's show. We talked about it, described it, but I didn't have the cars to show you. Now I have a C8, and we have a C7, talking about the battery protection package. Can you put that device in there with the cord and close down the front trunk and the rear trunk? Most certainly you can. If you guys remember, and if you don't, welcome to the channel. C7 Corvettes, if you have the battery protection package, you have this outlet right here, like a cigarette lighter port. It plugs in over here on the passenger side because it's a direct connect. The battery's right underneath here. So you can plug this in. We've talked about it before. You have the skinnier cord here, and it comes into the unit, and then you have the thicker cord right here that actually plugs into the 110. Okay, so we're gonna grab the device. The skinny cord actually can close right here, and that little groove from the trunk. And then what I suggest before you actually close it is get a microfiber towel, something right here, so the cord itself is not actually rubbing against the paint. And this will scooch right down into that groove right there and not hurt the cord whatsoever. Now you're ready to go to plug it into the wall. You could do the same thing on C8. As you guys know, the battery is up front now on C8. And here's another direct connect. That port right here, right there, is where you'll plug in this. Now that port and the same one on C7 has power to the car even when the power is off. That's the only place that there's power dispersed. So let's plug this in. Now what I told you before with this, and it's not so much of a concern on the C7 because you're really coming out from the passenger side, but here on C8, depending on where you're going, make sure that you don't close this on the latch. So just come right over here. This will scooch down. Let's get our towel. Now this is a 22, not a 24, but yes, you can do the same thing all the way down. It's not going to hurt it whatsoever, guys. And as I just told you, that port has power even when the cars turn off. That's the only port. Get a little closer if you could. You can see right there, there is a light indicating underneath the car that there is power to this unit. Yeah, the light's right there. So now all you got to do is plug it into a 110 and you're good to maintain it. And I would probably use this no matter what part of the country you're in. If the car's going to sit for a duration of 3 weeks or more, you want to keep some power to this car. Because as we know, this is a computer on wheels, even more so than it ever has been. And if you have any issue with the electronics, well, that starts the rabbit chasing into the hole type of scenario. So we don't want that for you, all right? Let's make it easy. Let's plug this in if you're going to be away from the car 2 to 3 weeks, all right? Okay. I promised him because he's busy, I'm busy. We're so overwhelmed and just excited to have the opportunity to do a Tech Tuesday with you guys tonight. Thanks for tuning in. A lot more questions to come if you do have a question. How to use something on your car. You got a problem with your car. You want suggestions, whatever we can do to help you guys directly as well as the Corvette community, use that email address that is up on the screen. We started today's show with a follow-up of last week. You've got a couple of ones, so I've got a kind of a rant, so I'll let you go first. Thanks for taking the time, Matt. I appreciate it.
Yeah. If I fall asleep halfway through, don't pay me no mind.
We're just wiped out, Matt. It's just so hard. I mean, we're not digging ditches. He's working harder than I am physically, but I mean, it does, the mental part does wear you down too, because you got a lot of that being thrown at you too.
All right, this one comes from Keith. It says, still turning into your uploads. Tech Tuesdays are my favorite. I've learned a lot. I own a 2022 HTC for nearly 3 years now. And it's by far the most interesting and satisfying car I've ever owned. And I've owned some very interesting automobiles. Well, I have a question. Well, not really a question, a Tech Tuesday inquiry, more like a question for the C8 designers and engineers. With the awful view out the back of the HTC with the top down, I wonder why, instead of mounting the rear view camera to the roof as it is now, why the engineers couldn't build the cameras, one or both into the nacelles. It could have been stylish with the added advantage that the camera would still work with the top down. Good idea.
No, yeah, and it's good to make suggestions like that. Exactly why we do Tech Tuesday. I know some of the Chevrolet people do watch us, so hopefully they take adhere to that. I think it's a great suggestion. One of the things I didn't get a chance to ask in April also involves that rear camera on Coupe or HTC, being that the camera's up in that mirror housing. A lot of the mechanisms are, you know, because you work on it.
Right.
I wish that we had ability to record through the PDR rear-facing camera as well, besides the positioning that you're talking about. So we're kind of thinking the same thing, to utilize that camera, and you're actually talking about making it more accessible all the time rather than just some of the time. So thank you for the input. I do appreciate it.
All right, this one comes from Ernest. It says, good morning, Rick. On June 7th, I picked up a brand new freaking Z06 at the NCM. While driving to the NCM track, I picked up a nail. This was the first mile I'd ever done in the car. The MCM track patched the tire and I returned safely to Texas. I know, I cannot patch the PS4. I saw you and Father Chuck speaking on the recent Tech Tuesday. Your all's warning continued to echo in my head. Because of your all's advice, I'm proceeding to purchase a new tire. Thanks.
Yeah, this is a good topic here.
Yeah, we've talked about this. The manufacturer says you can plug the tires. I've talked to several tire shops around here. They don't recommend it just simply because of safety factor. Yeah, you can plug it, but if you're out doing some spirited driving, not even necessarily track driving, say you're out on a country road and you just feel the need to, mash the pedal, now you're running with a plugged tire. You got to realize when that nail goes through, it damages the cords in that tire.
Right.
It has to. So.
Yeah, even like your example, if you're on the highway and you pass somebody and all of a sudden you're in a turn and that tire fails because of the performance nature, because it's a performance car, that's why us as a Chevy store, lean on the side of caution, not patching it. Now he showed a picture, we didn't show that to you guys, but it's in the middle of the tire, so that was a patchable type situation. If you get out to the outer edge, they're not going to patch it regardless. Anybody will, and any tire.
No.
But I just think, like Chuck said, and we've talked about before, just to err on the side of caution in case something happens. And you said it best, you're not tracking. If you're going to do a little spirited driving and you hit that gas pedal and you're in a turn and that tire fails, well, everything changes. So I think at this point, at this kind of money you spent, is it worth saving a few $100, change the tire, and just to have mentally a better safety in mind behind the wheel, you know what I mean? And so I think that's what we really tried to share with you guys in past uploads. So thanks for sharing that with us. It's always good to revisit that stuff.
Hey, if I shove a nail through my hand, it'll heal, but it's going to hurt. So just saying.
You and your analogies.
Well, it's kind of the same thing. Will it heal? Sure.
Okay, I get that's going to go down in history.
Exactly.
Right. Everybody. I'm still enjoying that right now. Hang on. All right, last one. Go ahead.
Yeah, this comes from Ismail. It says, appreciate taking the time providing the Corvette community relevant information on the updates. I am an active Army officer stationed in Virginia. First of all, thank you for your service to all our folks out there, men and women that protect our freedoms.
Thank you.
Says, I'm a first-time Corvette owner. I have a 2024 C8 HTC. Let me tell you what I love most about owning a Corvette is the other Corvette owners and the love of sharing the ultimate American sports cars. Please refer to the photo below when purchasing the car. I stopped the HTC opening sequence halfway to show the engine bay. I have the engine appearance package. My question is it okay to leave the HTC halfway up for several hours, or could this cause a mechanical or electrical issue later on? And I don't know if you can see that or not, but he's got the...
and he's talking about the convertible top, and a part of the top kind of goes like this, and then this goes like this, and it stops midway, not knowing how to utilize what he calls service mode to just open that area, expose that area for servicing, but now you can do that for showing off just that engine appearance package and keeping the top part for the interior actually secure on the car. And as far as answering his question, you would know better than I. Leaving it like that, does that hurt anything as far as electronics and things like that?
I wouldn't say it probably wouldn't. I would doubt GM recommends to leave it in that position for any length of time because you're putting a lot of stress on all the brackets and the gears.
Well, here's my take on it. I would have to say probably more so yes, because you remember when you're putting the top down or up, and what you're doing there is essentially putting the top down halfway and stopping, you're not getting the message on the screen that says folding top motion complete. With it not being complete, I think you have some modules internally that might still be running. So at the end of the car show, your car could be dead at the end of the car show. So let's show you real quick service mode, if I may. Is that, we have time to do that?
Absolutely.
Okay. And we've talked about this before, and it's good to revisit these items. Putting just the Tondo cover up only. That way you don't have a compromise to your electronics in the car. Hit the lock button 2 times and then hold the convertible top button down until the light flashes, and that way you know you're ready to go. So we're going to do 1, 2, hold this down. That light flashed. So if you want to put the tonneau cover back down, you basically do it the same way you just put it up. You hit the lock button 2 times and hold the convertible button. It's key to wait until the light flashes on the edge of the mirror. That way you know the cycle's complete, and again, no internal modules are still running. So it's 1, 2, hold this down. Got to be within 3 feet of the car. Watch for the light over here. Now you can let go and you're ready to go.
That's service mode.
That's service mode. And now you can enjoy the show.
Yeah, and that allows you to show the engine bay without disturbing the convertible top.
Absolutely. Thanks, Chuck, and thanks again for watching, sending that in. Again, not only you, I know others with HTC, which is, in my opinion, the most popular model within C8, can benefit from that. The old tire machine, tires, rims, and aftermarket rims. This is certainly a Tech Tuesday topic I want to talk about when you guys add aftermarket wheels or wheels that didn't come on your Corvette. It gives me an opportunity also to plug the company that supports my channel, Motorsports LA. Remember to use my code at checkout. Go to motorsportsla.com. You get a $200 discount and you get lug nuts that go with your wheels. Why is that important? Because if you don't get lug nuts, many cases, when you get these beautiful aftermarket rims, the lug nuts won't fit in here. This is going to need a thin wall socket as a 19 mil to fit on a 22 millimeter stud. Jet, thanks for putting it on there. Show me the actual factory.
So this is the factory ones right here. And if you look, they're just way too big.
Yeah.
This aftermarket ones are a lot sleeker. They fit in there a lot better.
Well, here, give me this one. So Jet goes like this and he goes, uh-oh, we got to pop up. It's not going to fit. But I got to tell you, I'm not sure where he got these. But these wheels, he must have had them custom painted, Amplify Orange. Damn it, the orange matches. I was so worried about that. The orange matches, and even inside, if you guys can see inside the barrel, the whole wheel is orange. Oh man, this thing, Ed, nice job on this car, man. This thing's gonna look fantastic. But remember, when you're getting aftermarket wheels, make sure you got lug nuts that fit, that match your wheel, but they're gonna fit on your Corvette. And all I wanted to talk about was just, I've not had a chance to really go through all the data on ZR1. From your perspective, what do you think of the ZR1?
First of all, is all the data even available to go through yet?
Yeah, well, there's initial stuff, you know.
Well, yeah.
I know you working on the car, you're like, oh my God, the Z06 motor, twin turbos, oh gee.
It is what it is. It should be a monster. I guess we'll see when we get one.
It's going to be historic, and I just got to thank everybody. I'll be honest with you, I am shocked at the amount of inquiries for this car, more so than I thought it would be. So thank you for that. Please understand there's a lot we can't do right now because we simply don't know. I don't care what any other dealer's telling you. They're taking money. Why would they take money right now? They can't commit anything. We have no idea on distribution, pricing, ordering, allocations, any of that kind of stuff. And it's going to be, I don't want to say limited because then the perception is that they intend to only build so many. I'm going to say it's controlled because there's a guy, I'm not going to say his website, but I did make a comment on his website. I started getting phone calls. Read this headline right here. Chevy will build as many ZR1s as people want.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, again, the perception from what GM said in their presentation, they said that we'll build as many as we can. There's a difference, many as you want versus many as we can. We're talking about all the carbon. We can't get carbon fiber parts right now for Z06, so I'm so concerned. I'm going to talk more about this in the ZR1 video, but how are they going to be able to build what we need? They're not going to be able to. It's going to be controlled.
Let's just put it in perspective. 2023 was when the Z06s came out.
Right.
Now we're in 2024. You're just now getting what I would consider an abundance of them versus 2023.
Okay, well then use that same analogy. 24, the halo car of the year, wasn't Z06 like it was in 23, 24, it was the E-Ray. Right. We're into 3 months of production extension beyond the normal cycle for 24 model year. They've not made 500 cars.
Exactly.
2025 ZR1 is not going to start anytime soon. You're going to have, at best, maybe half a year production. So it's going to be controlled. Not as many as you want, as like the GM, I'm not sure who it was, said, as many as we can.
Sure.
And it won't be enough, that I assure you. All right.
Yeah, and it was already said that the big reveal was a reveal of the reveal.
Right. And it is
still waiting.
It is one amazing car, that's for sure. And we're going to have much more conversations about it. But right now, I want to show off these amazing cars. These are your beautiful rides. Thanks for joining us tonight.
And I didn't understand that you were the one, and I can't wait to see you hindsight is fleeting when your heart's bleeding and all you can see is red, till you discover it is within each other to forgive and make amends. If I had known then what I know now, I wouldn't have said what I said. I took the long road, thought I'd be better on my own. Sometimes what's right is wrong instead, 'cause I was too young and I didn't understand that you were the one, and I can't wait to see you again. Oh, I can't wait, I can't wait, I can't wait, 'cause I was too young and I didn't understand that you were the one, and I